Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Stefan Samuel, and this segment is sponsored by Total Caribbean Network. In breaking story news, U.S. Army Private First Class Bradley Manning, the soldier charged with aiding the enemy for giving troves of U.S. government secrets to WikiLeaks, has arrived his military trial at Fort Meade Army installation in Maryland to hear the verdict. Supporters of Manning have gathered to demonstrate at Fort Meade. About 24 people wearing Truth t-shirts waved signs on Tuesday morning outside the Army installation near Baltimore. The verdict by Judge Colonel Denise Lind follows about 2 months of conflicting testimony and evidence. Manning faces 21 counts including espionage, computer fraud, and theft charges, but the most serious is aiding the enemy, which carries a possible life sentence. Prosecutors have tried to prove Manning had a general evil intent and knew the classified material would be seen by Al-Qaeda. Manning, who is 25, has admitted to sending more than 470,000 Iraq and Afghanistan battlefield reports, 250,000 State Department diplomatic cables, and other materials including several battlefield video clips to WikiLeaks while in Iraq in early 2010. Manning said that he sent material to expose war crimes and deceitful diplomacy. He claimed that he selected material that would not harm troops or national security. Prosecutors said that Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden obtained copies of some of the documents WikiLeaks published before he was killed by U.S. Navy SEALs in 2011. Dozens of heavily armed Taliban fighters freed nearly 250 prisoners, including hardcore militants, during a sophisticated overnight attack on a Pakistani jail that killed 13 people, officials said. Here is Siobhan Gobin with more on the story.
Dozens of heavily armed Taliban fighters freed nearly 250 prisoners, including hardcore militants, during a sophisticated overnight attack on a Pakistani jail that killed 13 people, officials said today. Armed with guns, mortars, rocket-propelled grenades, and bombs, the Taliban bombarded the prison in the town of Dera Ismail Khan before escaping with scores of inmates after a 3-hour shootout. The attack by well-trained gunmen disguised in police uniforms will heighten concerns about the ability of the Taliban to operate with impunity in parts of the nuclear-armed state. It took place just hours before the country began electing a new head of state to replace outgoing President Asif Ali Zardari, who is ending a 5-year term. Zardari's party lost general elections in May and has boycotted Tuesday's presidential vote, leading to the certain victory of Mamoun Hussein, a close ally of Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. At least 248 prisoners escaped, of whom 6 were later re-arrested, senior government official Mustaq Jadoun told ARY television, describing about 30 of them as hardcore militants. Malik Qasim, prison's advisor to the chief minister of northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, confirmed that 248 had escaped. He said the militants had also taken away 6 women, including 1 female constable and 5 female inmates. The central prison in Dera Ismail Khan can hold up to 5,000 inmates, and around 300 were being held in connection with attacks on security forces and sectarian killings. But it was not clear how many were present during the assault, which began late Monday and ended early today. The city in northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province is close to Pakistan's semi-autonomous tribal belt bordering Afghanistan, where Taliban and Al-Qaeda-linked insurgents are most active. The Pakistani Taliban, which has led domestic insurgency since 2007, killing thousands of people, claimed responsibility. And I quote, "Some 150 Taliban, including 60 suicide bombers, attacked the central prison and managed to free about 300 prisoners," Taliban spokesman Shahidullah Shahid told reporters. A security official in the city told AFP the militants arrived in more than a dozen vehicles and that 2 Taliban commanders were among those who escaped. Jadun said the fighters planted dozens of explosive devices in the jail, which were later defused by bomb disposal experts. A curfew was imposed in the city after the attack. Provincial Prisons Chief Khalid Abbas said a gunfight raged for 3 hours. Militants wearing police uniforms stormed the prison after bombing its outer wall and throwing hand grenades at guards. The prison was plunged into darkness by an electricity outage, and after the battle, security forces searched the prison to count inmates by flashlight to determine how many had escaped, he said. Among the dead was 6 police officers, 1 civilian, 2 attackers, and 4 prisoners, he said. It was not the first time either the Afghan Taliban or their Pakistani offshoot have claimed prison breaks. In April 2012, nearly 400 prisoners escaped from a jail outside Pakistan's northwestern town of Banu during a similar insurgent raid. A year later, almost 500, mostly Taliban inmates, made it out of a prison in Afghanistan's southern Kandahar province through a 250-meter tunnel lined with lights and an air pipe. This is Siobhan Goben reporting for Caribbean Affiliate News.
As Shane Dugain rounded the corner at Clarksville High School, he saw 3 students on the floor moaning and crying. In a split second, 2 more ran out of a nearby classroom. "He's got a gun," one of them shouted as Dugain approached with his pistol drawn. Inside, he found one student holding another at gunpoint. Dugain aimed and fired 3 rounds at the gunman. Preparing for such scenarios has become common for police after a school shooting in Connecticut last December left 20 children and 6 teachers dead. But Dugain is no policeman. He's the assistant principal of this school in Arkansas, and when classes resume in August, he will walk the halls with a 9mm handgun. Dugain is among more than 20 teachers, administrators, and other school employees in this town who will carry concealed weapons throughout the day, making use of a little-known Arkansas law that allows licensed armed security guards on campus. After undergoing 53 hours of training, Dugain and other teachers at the school will be considered guards. Clarksville, a community of 9,200 people about 100 miles northwest of Little Rock, is going further. Home to an annual Peach Festival, the town isn't known for having dangerous schools, but Hopkins says he faced a flood of calls from parents worried about safety after the attack last year at Sandy Hook Elementary in Newton, Connecticut. State officials are not blocking Clarksville's plan, but Arkansas Education Commissioner Tom Kimbrell is opposed of the idea of arming teachers and staff. He prefers to hire law enforcement officers as school resource officers. There are other dissenters too. Donna Maury, former president of the Arkansas Education Association, called the idea of arming teachers awful. The risk of a student accidentally getting shot or obtaining a gun outweighs any benefits, she said. "We just think educators should be in the business of educating students, not carrying a weapon," she said. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. Stay tuned.
The Haverman say it's all about the food. August the 10th. Foreigners welcome to the land of oil dung. Beers and strong rum, girls hot and can done. It's all about the food. Oil Dung Fest, August 10th, Lamperman, I'm in the place.